Peepers, welcome to another episode. Today, I want to talk about why the medical system can't solve your insomnia. And I realize this might be pretty controversial, but this is where I stand. And so I want to tell you this point of view because there is an answer. Even though the medical system can't help you, there is an answer to sleeping better. So I do appreciate Western medicine. They have really figured out emergency medicine, how to save lives, how to extend lives, even of very sick people, which is amazing. In fact, my son was born by C section and wasn't breathing when he was born. And so they saved his life. He would not have lived if I weren't in a hospital with medical care. So I'm very appreciative of the medical system for certain things. But the medical system, it cannot solve your insomnia. And honestly, my skepticism with the medical system started a long time ago when I was in college. So my mom was depressed for most of her life, and so she was on different meds for most of her life. And at that time when I was in college, her psychiatrist suggested that her daughters take an antidepressant for prevention. So I had 0 symptoms of depression, but I was prescribed Zoloft, and I was actually having the time of my life. I was studying, I had great friends, I was playing rugby, I was partying. I was definitely not depressed. And what happened when I started taking this drug, within a few weeks, I was sleeping all the time. I didn't wanna go out with my friends, and luckily, my roommate and best friend pointed that out. I didn't even realize I was just very apathetic. And she pointed out that, "Whoa, look how things have changed since you started taking this. Maybe this isn't good for you." And I immediately agreed and stopped taking it and went back to my normal self who was having a lot of fun. But what happened is that I really started to not trust the medical system. If they're prescribing drugs to people who don't even need it, it's really hard to trust that. And I was also skeptical because these drugs never helped my mom either. Now, since then, I've learned a lot over the years and I've become really passionate about alternative health. And so this is what I've learned is that our healthcare system does not help with the prevention of disease. So it uses blood work and other testing to diagnose disease. And then until you get to a point where you are diagnosed with something, it's kind of like, let's wait and see. So let's say your glucose levels say that you're pre-diabetic. Well, yes, they might tell you to change your diet, but otherwise it's let's wait and see till you're fully diabetic, and then you're going to be prescribed insulin for the rest of your life. It's the same thing with thyroid health. Okay, well, you're not, your levels aren't high, low enough to be diagnosed as hypothyroid. So let's just wait and see. And then once they are at that level, then we'll prescribe a drug for that. And so it's really about our medical system is all about diagnosing disease. And so that's one reason why it can't help you with insomnia. Now, another issue is that the medical system solution for disease is either drugs or surgery. And these are band-aids that don't get to the root of the problem. So your doctor can prescribe you a sleeping pill that's going to sedate you and not give you natural sleep. It covers up t of it covers up your symptoms and gets you feeling fine, but it's not actually getting you healthy. In fact, most drugs have side effects that make you more unhealthy over time. Now, another issue with our medical system is that pharmaceutical companies heavily invest in medical schools and marketing to doctors. So you can Google this. I looked up one article that says that medical students' exposure to pharmaceutical marketing begins early, growing in frequency throughout their training. So um, these, doctors in training are exposed to the companies with lunches up to 70 a year by these pharmaceutical companies. They're given gifts, they're given promotional items. And so naturally, their skepticism about these companies is going to diminish over time. And what's crazy is that the pharmaceutical industry spends more than $14 billion a year on marketing. and that is almost double what they spend on research and development. So, where are their interests really? So, it goes to show the medical system cannot help you with insomnia. What's crazy too is that so many chronic diseases that plague us today are preventable with lifestyle and diet. Even the CDC says that eliminating three risk factors, which are poor diet, not exercising, and smoking, would prevent 80% of heart disease and stroke, 80% of type 2 diabetes, and 40% of cancer. So much of what we're dealing with in this day and age, the things that kill us are preventable by lifestyle. We don't need a drug to help reverse these diseases. So, when we talk about insomnia, insomnia is actually caused by imbalances in your body. So, your body isn't totally healthy if you can't sleep normally, right? Because a healthy body sleeps well. It's what we're meant to do. And so this is true even if you eat well and exercise and care about your health, like most of my clients do. They are healthy, but you're not totally healthy if your body isn't letting you sleep normally. And this is because why the medical system can't help is because building health and fixing disease are two different things. So the medical system isn't looking for the root cause of your insomnia. It's not helping you build health. So, what's the answer? You have to go outside the medical system to be truly healthy so that you can sleep normally. You've got to use an alternative health approach that unfortunately isn't covered by insurance. It isn't part of our medical system and our health insurance system. Now, there are many forms of alternative medicine. What I use is functional medicine. So, functional medicine is looking at how your body's working as a whole. It's looking for the root cause of disease. And I use functional lab tests so I can see what's going on in your body, what's out of balance, and what needs to be corrected. It's using testing instead of just guessing at what might be wrong. So, this lab testing, this functional lab testing shows how the different systems in your body are working so we know what to fix. This is kind of like how a car mechanic plugs your engine into a diagnostic machine to see what's wrong. It's using tools to see what's going on inside the engine. It's the same with functional medicine. We're using lab testing to see what's going on inside your body. And the reason why the lab testing is so important is because symptoms have many different causes. So, what's causing your sleep issues can be completely different than what's causing someone else's. So, we can't just base it on symptoms. And from my experience working with almost 100 clients at this point, I see that the most common causes of insomnia have to do with an unhealthy gut, an unhealthy liver, hormone imbalance, cortisol being dysregulated, mineral deficiencies, heavy metals, mold toxicity, food sensitivities. Those are just to name the most common ones, but there are many other imbalances that can be leading to insomnia. And all of my clients have different combinations of these imbalances. It's never just one thing because once one part of the body stops working optimally, that's going to affect other parts of the body. And it's going to be different for everyone because we're all genetically and individually different. And so that's why there's not one magic pill that's going to solve the problem either, because there's more than one imbalance going on if it's gotten to the point where you can't sleep. So, for insomnia, you have four practitioners that you can go to. So, you can go to a doctor. We've already talked about this, right? He or she's going to run blood work, which will likely come back normal and prescribe a pill. You can talk to a therapist or a sleep coach. That's going to help with the mental part of not sleeping and with sleep hygiene, with those habits around our sleep, which are all important, but they're not going to help with the physical imbalances that are causing your insomnia. Now, many of my clients have actually already seen like a functional medicine doctor or a naturopath, and they are looking for the physical cause. But the problem I found is that these doctors, first of all, they aren't specializing in sleep. They're not looking at everything in the body as a whole that can be affecting your sleep. And they can recommend changes, but they don't help you make those changes, right? Which is the hardest part. And they don't help with the mental part. So I believe that we need to address the body and the mind at the same time. So that's why just a therapist isn't enough, or just CBTI isn't enough, because there are physical imbalances in your body. But you can't just see a doctor who then ignores the mental part and who's not looking at the big picture. If your doctors only want to do one test at a time or a couple tests at a time, and they say, oh, well, let's look at hormones later, or let's look at gut health later, or let's worry about liver function later, then you know for sure that they aren't looking at everything at the same time, which is going to be the fastest and most effective way to restore your health. So, at the Complete Sleep Solution, my team and I, we specialize in sleep. And Deb, my health coach, and I have both had sleep struggles. So we totally know how it feels. That's why we're so passionate about helping you with sleep problems. We know it's friggin' miserable. And we look for everything out of balance in your body that's affecting your sleep. We give you the support you need to actually change your diet, your habits. If any of those things are necessary, we're not saying go gluten free, good luck. We'll see you in 6 months. Most people aren't going to do it. And again, we're looking at both the body and the mind at the same time. So we're using these lab testing to find the imbalances in your body. And we're helping with negative thoughts about sleep, with worry about sleep, and with stress in general, because stress is what's causing all of our health issues. So you can book a free consultation to find out more how the program works and see if we're a good fit to work together. But we want you to start sleeping better as quickly as possible, naturally without drugs, and permanently for the long term. We're going to help you restore your health so that you can sleep normally and you don't have to depend on the medical system to help you with something that they are just not equipped to help you with. All right. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you next week.